I got mixed feelings about bare knuckle fighting. Okay, so let me give you guys my initial thoughts. One, too much blood. Okay, I don't want to sound like I got a queasy stomach here, but for me, it's just too much blood. Too much damage. The eyes are swelling. The knuckles are breaking. The blood is pouring. The cuts. These young faces, these young fighters, these young faces getting mangled trash. Scar after scar. What are they going to look like after 15, 20 fights? What are they going to look like? Is their face going to look like hamburger meat? Now, I know this is cosmetic, but this is your face. For goodness sake, guys, this is your face. This is your sacred. This is your face, man. This is your image. This is how your face. And I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. But if your face gets mangled, it could have some serious psychological repercussions. And I know a lot of you are going to tell me, look, coach, it's safer because you don't have a glove on. You can't hit the guy as hard as often. You know, for those of you who don't know, once your knuckles start hurting, and you can't really hit the guy that hard, especially if you hit the top of the head, you break your hand. You'll more likely break your hand than hurt the other guy. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the brain. Let's talk about the brain a little bit later. Let's talk about your appearance, your face. Do you want to turn your face into hamburger meat? Is that going to affect your psyche? Maybe you fight 4 or 5 bare knuckle fights and now you're scarred your whole fight. And now you're seeing children look at your face and they run screaming. Your wife looks at you and her stomach gets queasy because your face looks like you're the Frankenstein. For goodness sake, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like a lot of us were talking about it in the gym. How much would it cost for you to do bare knuckle boxing? And I landed at I think a lot of us were like, okay, at $500,000, I'll do a bare knuckle fight. Like I'll go in there and I'll get mangled. I mean, we'll go. They want us to go toe to toe. They want us to fight hard. Even though I probably wouldn't fight that way, it's just not in my psyche. But okay, you're gonna get like 50 stitches on your face. You're gonna mangle your face. For me, there's no price. Okay, guys, we're throwing $500,000 out there. We're talking. It was a funny kind of conversation. It was a joking kind of conversation. Don't put too much weight on this, okay? We're kind of joking around in the gym, Okay, 500, it's hard to say no now. It starts to get hard to say no. You can secure your family's future. You can put in an investment. Okay, maybe, what about it? But for the amount of money these guys are fighting for, in my opinion, scarring your face, getting hundreds of stitches, because if you're going to make a career out of this, you're going to get hundreds of stitches in your face. Hundreds. You're going to look like Frankenstein at the end of your career. Is it worth it? For me, no. For me, no. In my opinion, it's just not worth it. Psychologically. Okay, because you're going to look at your face and you're going to see, the way you present yourself to the world just being mangled. And forever now, you're going to have to explain to people why you look like Frankenstein. Why do you look like Frankenstein? Why do you have no teeth? Why do you slur your words when you talk? Why is your lip so deformed? Why is your nose completely sideways? Why is your eye hanging low? Why is your skin look like sandpaper? Okay, now for those of you who don't know, when you're hitting each other bare knuckle, cuts are gonna happen. Cuts are gonna happen. I don't care if you're slick, cuts are gonna happen. Now, let's talk about the brain. I bet you the brain is safer. And it's the more important of the two. It's safer in bare knuckle. Why? Because I can't hit you as often, as hard with a bare knuckle. Because I'm going to miss. I'm not always going to hit you in the face area. Okay, so if I hit you in the nose, if I hit you in the jaw or the chin, my fist is safe. Okay, it's fairly safe. If I hit you in the cheekbone or I hit you in the skull, my hand might start to get injured. Okay, so if I hit you right here, like right in the cheekbone, okay, let's call it 50-50. The structures are equally sound. However, if I hit you in the forehead, the bone density in your forehead is far superior to the bone density, far denser than the bone density in your knuckles. Okay? You're going to break your hand. If two structures collide, it doesn't matter which structure is hitting the other. What matters is which structure is more dense, more sound, more robust. And the skull is more robust. You're more likely to break your hand, obviously, bare knuckle boxing. So if I hurt my hand in round one, I'm going to be punching you really like with less power, just by reflex. I'm going to be punching, but it's going to be, my hand is tenderized. My hand is tender. I can't hit with full force. Now in MMA, if you gave me a choice, if you said, Coach, we're going to let you mount this man, he's going to be defensive, and we want you to do as much damage as you can in 20 seconds. Do you want gloves or no gloves? I would ask for gloves. I would say, no, give me gloves. I could do more damage. Why? Because I can hit this guy, and if I miss, doesn't matter. My hand will be safer. My hand is less likely to break, and I can deliver more damage, no doubt. Okay, so when we're talking about brain safety, I would agree that MMA gloves are safer than boxing gloves, and I would agree, than boxing. MMA will be safer, just punching wise. Okay, I know MMA is more dangerous than boxing, in my opinion. I would say because of the knees and elbows, it makes it more dangerous. We're talking about just straight punching. What's more dangerous? Punching in boxing, punching in MMA, or punching in a bare knuckle? In boxing, you're gonna get more total strikes to the head, obviously, because there are more rounds. There's more time. Your hands are safer. You can do more punching. You're less likely to break your hand. You're likely in boxing to land more punches before you break your hand. Let's put it that way. Okay, just to be more specific, because I know a lot of you guys are going to pick on the details here. In MMA, you are less likely to break your hand. You're going to land more punches before breaking your hand than in bare knuckle boxing. Okay, so you're going to land more punches without breaking your hand in boxing. You have more time to land punches. Your hands are more protected. Then the second tier would be MMA, and then the last tier would be bare knuckle boxing. So if you think about it in that sense, bare knuckle boxing should be safer for the brain, for concussion. Because if you get knocked out, you're going to knock out one shot. You're not going to hit 50 times in one round, then get knocked out. Okay? So in that sense, I would have to agree. However, for me, the fact that it's going to irreparably mangle your face, for me, that's just too much. I think your face it's a sacred part of your body. Your face is a sacred part of your body. That's what you present to the world. Do you want to present the world hamburger meat for the rest of your days? Do you want people to associate hamburger meat with your face? Concussion is also super important. Okay, they're both equally important. Or maybe, okay, let's give the brain even a higher. I'd rather my face be mangled than my brain be mangled. I'll give you guys that. I'm sure that's a point people are going to bring up. I agree. However, I feel that still bare knuckle boxing is a sure. It's more likely you're going to hurt your face than in MMA you're going to hurt your brain irreparably. Okay, so if you fight smart in MMA, you can walk away healthy. If you fight smart in bare knuckle boxing, you're still going to get your face mangled up. That's just my opinion. I heard they got paid $50K. That's from Sam. Sam, for me, that's not enough. It's just not enough. It's just too much. It's too much to mangle your face like that. Again, listen, I watched the fight. I thought it was epic performance by both men. I don't want to take away from their performance. They fought with a lot of heart. They gave the fans what the fans wanted. It's not what I want, honest. I prefer a technical match. It's not what I wanted. I felt that they went in there, Lobov and Jason Knight went in there and gave the fans what they wanted. They gave an epic performance in terms of entertainment for the fans. But for me, they gave me what I didn't want. I don't want to see blood and guts. I don't want to see cuts. I don't want to see bodies dropping, and I don't want to see the gore. I dislike that part of the fight. For me, bare knuckle boxing is too much gore. I'm not a huge fan. Okay, so if you guys are into that, that's your business. That's your bag. For me, I'm not going to be watching too much bare knuckle boxing. For me, MMA is my tolerance level. That's what I can take. For me, bare knuckle it made me queasy. I watched it because I respect those two men. I think they're really great fighters. I will watch other bare knuckle boxing fights if they have names that interest me. However, if they're names that I don't recognize or interest me, I won't be watching too much bare knuckle boxing. For me, it's too bloody.